Hey guys, this is a how-to video on the Vengeful Monkey Temple, like how to do it, but it's more focused on the mistakes that people make when they think they know how to do it already. So, yeah, if you've seen guides out there, there's some mistakes to avoid. I've seen constantly people say, like, I did all these steps right, why don't I have it? And you did not do the steps right, that is the answer. It's just working out kind of like which one you failed at. I don't know. Um, anyway, so let's jump into this quickly. I give myself kind of four rules basically. First one is knowledge. There's two knowledge points that matter for this. First one is actually one of the most common mistakes. I don't know why, but anyway, this is the entire thing. Like, you need this knowledge point. This was an Easter egg a while ago. No one was told how to do it. You worked it out in like 3 days anyway, because yep. But once this achievement was added to this game, this unlocked the ability to create the Vengeful Monkey Temple, which is the Dark Temple. It's not specifically referred to as Vengeful anyway, but it was in Bloons Monkey City, so that's where people got the name from. The second knowledge point that matters, which isn't too common a mistake, but it is sometimes, is better sell deals. All monkeys sell for 5% more, so a lot of people go off the sell value of their sacrifices when making a temple. So rule number 2 is that the temple has to be maxed. So you will not get the upgrade from the true sun god to the true vengeful sun god unless your sacrifices are considered maxed. I have a video which teaches how to make a max temple in more detail, but basically, like, long story short, you need to sacrifice monkeys from each category of a total spent value of 50,001, which means a lot of people go off the sell value of 35,000. Point 1, 35,000 won't work. You need 35,001. You need the extra 1. If you manage to get that exactly, it will not work. Point 2, if you have better sell deals here, then you need to aim for a higher number. You need to aim for 37,501, because that's essentially 5% higher. Well, but so yeah, so basically, if your monkeys sell for more, the sell value means something different. So you need to go for a higher number. So next point, you can't do it in sandbox, but let's ignore that right now, because it is kind of anyway. So next rule, you need to have some tier 5 bonuses on the side, but so that's essentially, you don't need them initially, but let's just put these here because you have to note that they can't be in radius of your temple that you plan to make. So this is the temple I plan to make. Let's just speed through this. I didn't mean to do that. I'm not going to try and get this dead on, I'm just going to quickly make it. So yeah, for your first temple, you only need to sacrifice 3 categories. Why did I go on mortar? I didn't mean to do that. Whoops. There we go. Yeah, first one only takes 3, so you don't have to do all 4, but the second one you do have to do all 4. So this 38,200, that's just more than enough. Actually, another mistake here. So a lot of people do support sacrifice at first. I don't know what percentage, actually. I have not looked into that, but I definitely do, so it must be good. Anyway, if you usually support sacrifice, and if you do that at tier 4, so I did this tier 4 temple has $50,000 and 1 in the support sacrifice. That gives it a buff, which means any towers in radius, see how it has this buff, will be cheaper. So let's say I put this in radius, I put this out of radius, boom. This one sells for 1875. This one sells for 1,500. Laser blast here costs 2,000. Laser blast here costs 2,500. So essentially, this means if you sacrifice support to make a tier 4 temple, you need to spend more yet again. So same with the better sell deals. You're spending less on your towers, so you need to spend more on your towers to get the same sacrifices, which means you might have to do something that worked at tier 4 will not work again at tier 5, because, like, let's say I'm gonna actually. So if I was on easy difficulty, maybe this would be a bit cheaper. So it would work if I spend exactly 50,000, like on the dot, 50,001 to make my tier 4. That would work. But if I got the support buff, that would give it this buff. And then the next tier, when I'm trying to make my tier 5 temple, if I do that exact same sacrifice again, it won't work this time because it's cheaper. So even if you know a sacrifice works, always double check the sell value. That's important because there's so many other things that affect sell value. Like Buccaneer does, favorite trades. This will make it doesn't actually say it. Oh no, it does at the end. Sorry. Monkeys and radius sold give more cash back. Yeah, same as better sell deals there. You can potentially, let's say, so this is 38,000. I'll put this here. That goes up to 43,000. This number is kind of not so trustworthy anymore. So if this still said 38,000 with this discount, then it wouldn't work. But obviously that will work because it's 38 without it. Anyway, rambling on. That is a very common mistake. It's insane how common that mistake is. Like someone's asking, "Hey, why didn't this work?" And I'm like, did you sacrifice support to your tier 4 temple? They say yes. And I'm like, I think I know your problem. And then we explain it and it's kind of resolved. Anyway, military magic primary. So that's all my sacrifices done. Now I need to have a Legend of the Night. It doesn't need to be cross-pathed at all. It just doesn't matter. Don't do it. It doesn't make it any better or anything. I need to have an anti-balloon. Why did I do that? I need another. There we go. That's enough. Same thing here. Unless you were using it previously, don't like give cross paths. It doesn't make your temple any better. And this should work. Work. There we go. And here we have it. All good in its glory. The Vengeful Temple. Who's got these little fart clouds coming out of, apparently. Thank you, Alchemist, for the fart clouds. So, this is a pretty good tower. It does a lot of damage. And this is a very small bat. But it gets pretty much annihilated. And I haven't even... There we go. So it starts attacking now. It dies. So, at the moment, these guys, they're quite strong. Yeah, I'm not going to go into too much detail on this guy. I kind of just wanted to talk about those mistakes. So, essentially, the biggest mistake is simply the sacrifices were done wrong. Sacrifices were done wrong. This is a huge mistake. It happens all the time. So just, when you're making your temple, check the sell value. See how, so I got to tier 5, I got that support bonus yet again, and now my sell value is even lower. Now, it doesn't matter because I've already got it, but this is less than 37,500, so it would no longer work. Well, like, move it. Obviously, this would work. And then it gets a little bit lower, but still works. And then it would no longer work. But this matters yet again. For example, if I wanted to make a second temple, so I'm like, oh, this is my magic sacrifice. Boom, boom. Now I'm going to make a second temple. Boom, boom. Except it won't work. So just always pay attention to that. That's... So many people don't really get that particular point. So the... Okay, rules to check. Check your knowledge. Check that you maxed all your sacrifices, you did the correct value, whatever. Check that you got the 2 tier 5 super monkeys on the outside and they didn't get sacrificed. If they are within range of the temple and get sacrificed, the whole thing doesn't work. And check that you're in sandbox because it will not work in sandbox. Ignore this video. It will not normally work in sandbox. So anyway, that's pretty much all there is to it, right? We got this migraine temple of the triple tier 5 sun godness. And at this point, I'm just kind of rambling on. So let's end it here with a bunch of BADs. Tiny BADs. But oh yeah, also it doesn't have natural camo. But that doesn't matter. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope it actually helped people out. And I'll see you around.